The message blinked on my phone at 6:47 p.m., a time I'll never forget. "We need distance from you. Please don't contact us anymore at all." I read it once. Then again. My son's name hovered above the words like a knife over my chest. Distance. From me, after everything I sacrificed. I sat frozen in my kitchen, the hum of the refrigerator suddenly deafening. Just that morning, I had called him to ask if he and his wife were coming for Sunday dinner. He had said he was busy. No hint. No warning. And now this message, cold, final, like the slamming of a door I hadn't even realized was closing. I typed and deleted a dozen replies. Are you serious? What do you mean by distance? What did I do wrong? But each time, my hand shook too much to press send. The silence of the house pressed in on me. Family photos lined the walls. Birthdays, graduations, his wedding day. Every smile felt like mockery now. I called his number. Straight to voicemail. I called again. And again. Nothing. By the fourth attempt, my voice cracked as I whispered into the empty air, "Please, just tell me why." I tried calling his wife. She didn't answer either. Hours passed. I sat at the kitchen table, with the phone still in my hand, my dinner untouched. The message burned like fire on the screen. By midnight, the grief curdled into something harder. Not just hurt, betrayal. If my son wanted distance, fine. But I wasn't about to let him rewrite history, not when I knew the truth of everything I had given him. That night, I opened an old wooden box I had kept in my closet for years. Documents, letters, receipts. Proof. Proof of every sacrifice, every loan I had paid, every favor I had pulled to keep his world spinning. My tears dried into resolve. He wanted distance. He would learn exactly what distance meant. The next morning, sunlight spilled into my kitchen like nothing had changed. But inside me, something had snapped. I scrolled through old emails between us. Requests for help, desperate messages from my son when bills piled too high, when his marriage nearly crumbled under the weight of debt. I had been the one to hold it together. And now, I was disposable. I printed them all. Every single one. The email where he begged me to co-sign the loan for his business. The transfer records of the 15,000 I gave him when his car was repossessed. The receipt from the lawyer I hired when he nearly lost custody of his first child. Page after page, I stacked them neatly in a folder. Not for revenge just yet, but for clarity. For myself. Proof that I wasn't crazy, that I hadn't imagined being the foundation he stood on. By afternoon, my phone buzzed with a new notification. His wife had posted on Facebook. Sometimes cutting ties is the healthiest choice. Protecting our peace. No negativity, no toxicity, just growth. The comments poured in. Hearts, supportive messages, even friends chiming in with, "Good for you." And, "So proud of you both." My hands shook as I read each one. Toxicity. That's what they called me. The woman who had worked double shifts to pay for his college tuition. Neighbors smiled at me differently that day. As if they'd already heard the story. As if they knew. I shut the curtains. If they wanted to paint me as the villain, I would not just sit quietly and let them. That night, I pulled out my journal. For years, I had written down everything. Arguments, promises, betrayals too small to call out at the time. Each page was a record of the slow shift I had ignored. My son and his wife taking, demanding, rewriting, until I was nothing but a background character in their story of triumph. But I was about to take the pen back. Because distance wasn't silence, it was space. And in that space, I finally saw my path forward. For the next few days, I played along. I didn't reply to my son's cruel message, didn't react to the Facebook post, didn't even let myself cry where anyone could see. Silence was my weapon now. But inside, I was planning. I began by making a list. Everything in my name that they thought belonged to them. The house they were living in rent-free. The family cabin my late husband and I bought decades ago. The savings account I had quietly built, which they fully expected to inherit. Every time I wrote another item, my chest tightened. Not with sorrow, but with clarity. They didn't want me. Fine. But they didn't deserve my sacrifices either. That evening, I drove to the lawyer's office. He had known our family for years and raised his eyebrows when I explained the situation. "Are you sure?" he asked gently, I slid my son's text across his desk. Read it, I said. He read it, sighed, and nodded. Then let's begin. Paperwork moved quickly, faster than I expected. Within a week, the lease was terminated. I gave my son 30 days to vacate the house. The lawyer sent the letter directly, and I could almost imagine the panic on their faces when they opened it. The next blow was subtler. The cabin? Oh, how they loved spending summers there, posting pictures on social media like it was their own. I listed it for sale, and not quietly. I made sure the photos hit every real estate platform, with my name attached as the seller. Neighbors whispered. My phone buzzed with messages. Are you really selling? Won't your son be upset? I ignored them. Because it wasn't about upsetting him. It was about reclaiming what was mine. Days later, I finally received the call I had been expecting. Mom, what the hell is this? His voice shook with anger. What's what? I asked calmly, sipping my tea. You're kicking us out. You're selling the cabin. Are you insane? I let the silence hang before answering. You told me you needed distance. I'm just giving you exactly what you asked for. The line went quiet. For the first time in years, I felt powerful again. And this was only the beginning. The eviction deadline loomed closer with each passing day. I didn't check on them, didn't call, didn't offer help. For once, I refused to be the safety net they always assumed I'd be. From what the neighbors whispered, my son and his wife were scrambling. They hadn't saved a dime. Why would they, when they thought everything I owned would be theirs one day? I, on the other hand, had made sure the world saw what was happening. When the "for sale" sign went up in front of the family cabin, the photos spread like wildfire through our community. It was no longer their pride. It was my choice. A week before the move-out date, my son showed up at my door. His eyes were bloodshot, his voice desperate. Mom, you can't do this. Please, we have nowhere to go. Think of your grandson? Ah, the grandson? The one I babysat for free, fed, clothed, and loved while they went off on vacations without me. The same child they had dangled like bait, whenever they wanted something. I looked at him and smiled sadly. Sweetheart, I thought you wanted space from me. You made that very clear. He clenched his fists. That text, it was a mistake. We didn't mean it like that. We just needed boundaries. I laughed. Actually laughed. And his face turned red. Funny, I said. Because boundaries are exactly what I'm giving you. He stormed off, cursing under his breath. But I didn't flinch. The very next day, the buyers for the cabin came to tour it. A lovely retired couple who told me they couldn't wait to make new memories there. Watching them walk through those rooms, I felt a strange kind of closure. The deal went through in less than 2 weeks. The cabin was gone. Then came the final twist of the knife. My lawyer called to confirm that the trust fund I'd once set aside for my son's family had officially been redirected to a scholarship fund for underprivileged kids. Every last cent. My son found out soon after. He called, furious, screaming into the phone. You've ruined us! You're destroying your own family! No, I said, calm as ever. You destroyed this family the moment you told me I didn't belong in it. I hung up. That night, for the first time in years, I slept soundly. Because now, the balance had shifted. And yet, I wasn't done. Moving day arrived. I sat on my porch sipping coffee as a moving truck pulled up outside my house. My son and his wife rushed around, shoving boxes into the back seat of their car. Their faces were drawn, pale, exhausted. For years, I would have rushed out to help. Not anymore. This time, I simply watched. As they loaded the last box, my grandson looked up and waved at me. My heart ached for a moment, but then I reminded myself. Children grow up. One day he'll know the truth, and he'll understand who truly stood strong. My son walked over, his pride shattered. Mom, please. Just tell me this isn't permanent. That one day things can go back to normal. I stared into his eyes. The same eyes that once looked at me with love, now filled with resentment and regret. Normal, I said softly. Normal was me giving and you taking. That normal is gone forever. He opened his mouth to argue, but I raised a hand. You wanted me out of your life. Congratulations. You got what you asked for. And with that, I turned my back and went inside, closing the door firmly behind me. 2 weeks later, the house officially sold. The papers were signed, the money transferred. I moved into a cozy little cottage by the lake, a place that was mine alone, free from their expectations and demands. Every morning, I wake up to the sound of water lapping against the shore. Peaceful. Free. Sometimes I still think of them, wondering how they're getting by without the safety net they took for granted. From what I hear through whispers, life hasn't been easy. They're renting a cramped apartment now, juggling bills, struggling with the reality of independence. And me, I'm thriving. Because here's the truth no one tells you. Revenge isn't always about rage or destruction. Sometimes, it's simply about reclaiming your dignity, your freedom, and your power. They pushed me away. So I let them fall, and I never looked back.